There is a ruthless, invisible rule operating in every room you walk into. It dictates who gets listened to, who gets ignored, who gets promoted, and who gets left behind. It is happening right now, in your family, at your workplace, and in your romantic relationships. Have you ever wondered why there are people who are clearly not smarter than you, who don't work as hard as you, who aren't even as nice as you, yet they consistently get respect and preferential treatment? Meanwhile, you bend over backwards to accommodate everyone. You play by the rules, and yet you are taken for granted, or worse, walked all over. This isn't bad luck. This isn't the world being unfair. It is because you are violating a core law of human psychology, a law that high-status individuals understand in their bones, while the people at the bottom of the social hierarchy remain completely blind to it. That rule is this: people do not treat you based on who you are, how kind you are, or how much value you bring. They treat you based on one thing, and one thing only: your baseline of tolerance. You do not get the respect you deserve. You only get the respect you demand. From a young age, we are brainwashed by a sweet, paralyzing lie. Treat others the way you want to be treated. This sounds noble in fairy tales, but in the real world, the world of power dynamics, hierarchy, and biological survival, this advice is the perfect recipe for becoming a human doormat. The reality of human nature is much darker. The human brain is a status-calculating machine. Whenever you meet someone, their subconscious mind immediately scans you for boundaries, much like a radar system pinging for a signal. They don't do this maliciously. They do it instinctively, biologically, to figure out where you stand in the social food chain. And the way they figure out your placement is through micro-tests. Micro-tests are not massive confrontations. They are incredibly subtle moments. It's when a coworker interrupts you mid-sentence during a meeting. It's when a partner forgets an arrangement and sends a lazy apology text. It's when someone throws a sarcastic jab at you, thinly disguised as a joke. 99% of people fail this test within the first 3 seconds. The instinct of a low-status individual is to avoid friction at all costs. So, when they are interrupted, they go quiet and yield the floor. When they are stood up, they say, "It's okay, I understand." When they are mocked, they laugh along to diffuse the tension. The exact second you laugh it off, the exact second you say, "It's okay," when it actually isn't, you have just uploaded a virus into the other person's brain. You have just handed them the instruction manual on how to mistreat you. You told their subconscious, "My boundaries are non-existent. Your comfort is more important than my self-respect." And once that precedent is set, reversing it requires an act of war. Understand this: people will continuously push your boundaries until they hit a wall of steel. If they push and only feel air, they will keep advancing, consuming your space, your energy, and your power. So, how do you build that wall of steel? How do you flip the script and make the law of tolerance work for you? The secret lies in what behavioral psychologists call non-reactive withdrawal. The most powerful people in society do not yell, they do not throw tantrums, and they do not beg for respect. When someone crosses their boundary, they do not react with emotion. They react by withdrawing access. Your access, your time, Your energy, your attention, and your validation is the most valuable currency you possess. If someone disrespects you, the ultimate punishment is not an argument. The ultimate punishment is deprivation. The next time someone interrupts you, do not shrink back, and do not raise your voice in anger. Stop. Look them dead in the eye with chilling stillness. Let an uncomfortable silence stretch for 2 seconds and say in a completely flat tone, "I wasn't finished speaking." Then, resume. You are not mad. You are simply enforcing the law. If someone is consistently late and disrespects your time, do not send passive-aggressive texts. Leave. When they call asking where you are, reply calmly. "You were 15 minutes late, so I started my day. We'll reschedule." No over-explaining, no apologies. What shocks people into changing their behavior is not the words you say, but the absolute absence of fear in your actions. The willingness to walk away is the purest form of power in the world. The person who is least dependent on the outcome of an interaction controls the interaction. Society conditions you to be agreeable, to let things slide, so people will like you. But the dark truth is, people do not like agreeable people. They use them. People only truly respect what they fear they might lose. If there is no risk of losing your presence, they will never value your presence. It is time to rewire your social algorithm. You must become expensive. Being expensive has nothing to do with designer clothes or your bank account. It is about having a zero-tolerance policy for subtle disrespect. Starting today, watch how people test you. See the sarcastic jokes, the interruptions, and the flakiness for what they really are, status probes. And when they happen, cut off your supply. Go cold, go blank, revoke the privilege of your energy. The world will begin to treat you differently, not because your personality changed, but because you changed the rules of engagement. You are no longer a default option. You are a conditional prize. Remember, you train the world how to treat you every single day. Never train them to walk all over you again.